that happening now, but it's happening during a pandemic. So the images they're
Right.
going to see in these history books, everybody's wearing masks. And I mean, Quincy, I can't imagine, what it actually feels like for you.
Well, not just me, Cheryl, like the entire country. The entire country has been sick and hurting for a while. And when the world witnessed a horrific reality being played out in real time, murder of another innocent, unarmed Black, and I say American born citizen at the hands of racist police within a justice system that's set up to intentionally never be in our favor. For myself and for so many others, in this country who look like me, this story is something we all know all too well, and it plays out in a multitude of ways, but there's always one result: somebody lose their lives, the cops aren't held accountable, they're let go, and they're able to continue doing whatever they do. And but as we also demand for justice and accountability in the name of murder for all four of those former police officers, I would just like to ask you ladies, as well as just all of America, please understand this. What happened to George Floyd symbolizes what Blacks in America have felt for many generations. We can't comfortably breathe due to blatant and systemic racism in this country, which includes multiple levels of unfair treatment, too many to name. And here's a fact. At any given time, our skin color, a Black person's skin color, is considered a weapon or even a threat that causes most of white America to feel like they're in some sort of danger. In fact, just yesterday, I'm on another TV show on the Yurview network, and me and one of this show's producers, we were out there taping a funny segment that we always do for that show. And it was her, she's white, and it was two other white cameramen. They were standing in this nice neighborhood when I drove up. So they had been standing out there for a while. So of course I drove up, I get out of my car, I greet them, and then what we do as talent, we go back to our trailer, or in my case, I went back to my vehicle and I sat waiting on them to finish the setting up, and then they called me on set. So I had been sitting in my vehicle for about 10 minutes, and they were about 50 or 70 yards away. And this is a real feeling. This is what we go through. I'm sitting, and then I look up, and I know I'm in a nice neighborhood. I know I'm in a neighborhood that I'm not supposed to be in. I put air quotes around that. And I look up, and I actually felt vulnerable. And I was like, where is everybody? Because I don't know how I'm going to explain if somebody comes up to my car and says, what are you doing here? And that, to me, was reality. In the midst of what we deal with now, we have to wear masks over our face, and it's already, when people see our skin color, it's like, oh, something is, what's that and all that. And now you got a mask. Oh, I don't know what you're trying to do. So that was just a natural thought that popped up in my head during that moment, and that was just so surreal. And so with me and the other producer, her name is Melissa, we talked about it, and she was like, yeah, that's crazy. And as we're standing out there, all of a sudden, 2 patrol cars rolled by slowly. And they never stop, because obviously I'm standing out there with everybody else. But you hear our client, who we were shooting the segment with, said, we've been in this neighborhood many times. We've never seen one cop. And to them, I think it was almost an eye opener. This is the reality that we live every single day. So before we continue, I would at least like to say this. Dear America, this is my Dear America. Dear America, I am a proud son, husband, father, Navy veteran, and protector in this country. I represent beauty, class, power, originality, pure awesomeness, and grace here in this country. I feel successful, driven, encouraged, yet depressed, happy, fearful, pain, pleasure, right here in this country. It's hard to chase your American dream, be unemployed, work. I'm sorry, I lost my earpiece. Be unemployed, work, fight, believe, or even have faith, or even trust you in this country. I just want the same freedom, peace, living condition, opportunity, protection, and privilege you say this land will provide me here in this country. And lastly, America, you're sick with the coronavirus, bad leadership, hate, social injustices, police brutality. racism, and only a small group of insecure people actually thinks you're doing just fine the way you are. A small group. And unfortunately, that's why the medical attention you so desperately need continues to be denied. And I just like to say, we are all praying for you and your healing, dear America. So,
Quincy, your emotion is justified. It's evident. And thank you so much for being so open with us and sharing how you feel. I mean, this is something that's been going on for hundreds and hundreds of years in this country, and it just keeps resurfacing. And so people have to realize what's going on. And I'm so glad that you were brave enough to say all that. And, it all comes down to unity. And I know we have some photos of people uniting, and we are starting to see some of that now.
absolutely. There's evidence that law enforcement, I know that we got a few pictures here, law enforcement are joining protesters because the cause is what people are upset about, police brutality. So just to see them joining and standing with everyone in solidarity just goes to show that there are some people that get it and they empathize with the situation. And those are the ones that's helping to make us better. And we appreciate that.
That's what we need is change. Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah, and Quincy, just to speak on that, I mean, when I hear you even having to say stuff like you're in the neighborhood that you're not supposed to be in, like that just strikes me as like that's the systemic racism right there, and it's just so deeply ingrained, and it's just absolutely insane that you would even have to think there's a place you can't be. So I mean, the fortunate thing right now is that the protest is I think just being very successful, and there's so many resources online for everybody to educate themselves, places for people to donate, and things for people to do. So people can definitely find that information so easily, and information that I want to see, and that I think a lot of people would like access to that we didn't even know about. So that information's been just so much more readily available now.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an ongoing conversation. And thank you again for being so candid with us.
Yeah, thank you, Quinn.
As well.